Please adhere to YouTube selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alright, so today I'm going to be consuming Coke in 4K 60. 4K resolution, 60 FPS. Why am I making this video today? Well, the reason's quite simple. It's because I'm curious to find out just how consuming Coke will actually look when recorded in 4K resolution 60 FPS. Just how will it actually look, and will it look super smooth and super clear where you can see everything in the most minute details? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. But I do suppose before I go any further into the video, I should probably go ahead and cover what Coke I have with me today. And today I have I think this is a 500 milliliter can of Coca-Cola from Dollar Tree. It's got a football on the front and stuff like that, and we can see the ingredients on the back. Really nothing too crazy going on. This is just like a limited edition Coca-Cola can design, and that's really all that's going on with this, frankly put. I'm looking forward to having some Coca-Cola today, and I do suppose without further ado, I should probably go ahead and get this can cracked open, and I do suppose I should probably go ahead and actually get to, well, consuming Coke at the resolution of 4K with 60 frames per second. To say that correctly, maybe. Y'all know what I'm saying. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this can cracked, and let's go ahead and get to consuming some Coke in 4K 60. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking forward to having a little bit of a Coca-Cola today. Definitely go for a little bit of soda, a little bit of caffeine, a little bit of sugar, you know what I'm saying? Let's take my first sip of Coca-Cola in 4K 60. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's pretty nice. That is pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. So far, so good. The Coke itself is very solid. Very solid. Absolutely delicious. You know, goes down a little bit hard. I'm feeling like I'm getting some kind of like buildup from the carbonation in my nose and stuff like that. But overall, no, very, very, very solid. Very, very, very solid Coca-Cola. Getting that nice, pleasant brown sugar, molasses, vanilla, slightly cocoa-y taste. Overall, solid. Drinking a Coca-Cola outside where I am right now, solid experience. And so far, would I have to say that consuming Coke in 4K 60 FPS is a solid experience as well? I'd have to say it is. I mean, like, just moving my hands around, it feels honestly way too smooth just looking at my phone screen. I'm like, how is this so smooth? Because I normally record my videos in 1080p 30 FPS for file size reasons. However, it's like super smooth with the 60 FPS, and I'm just looking and I'm like, man, I know my phone screen, I normally can't tell the difference between a 1080p and a 4K video when I'm watching on YouTube and stuff like that, but I really do feel like just recording this live, looking at my phone screen with what's going on right now, I really do feel like everything is just a little bit more clear, I'll acknowledge. Although, of course, my Coke itself is not clear. It's Coke after all, so it's brown. But man, yeah, solid. Solid. Nah, enjoying the nice flavor of Coca-Cola, sitting out in a public park at 5:34 and 10 seconds in the afternoon, and I'm just chilling. Enjoying how smooth this video looks, enjoying the resolution of this video, but I'll tell y'all what I'm not going to be enjoying in the future, and that is the file size of this video and the edited version of this video once I edit this video. By my estimation, this video is probably going to be around 7.5 gigabytes in size. Of course, it depends on how long this video is, but let's say this video is going to be 10 minutes long. This video is probably going to be around 10 gigabytes. 15 minutes long is going to be about 7.5, gigabytes. And 20 minutes long is probably going to be about 10 gigabytes. That's a lot of file size for not an insanely long video, I'll acknowledge. And to put that in comparison with what I normally record in, which is 1080p 30 FPS, a 15-minute video will normally be around about, I would have to say, 700 megabytes kind of thing. So almost a gig, 3/4 of the way there, but not quite a gig kind of thing. 4K 60 is like literally literally double the size, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, like literally double the size, I want to say. And if I'm remembering correctly, the largest video I've ever recorded, size-wise, file size-wise, in 4K, it's not in 4K. I'm getting words all jumbled up. The sugar, the caffeine, it's hitting, you know what I'm saying? But the largest file size I've ever had for a video, when I'm recording a YouTube video, I want to say it was for like a 2 or 3 hour long video, and I want to say it was like 4 or 5 gigabytes. If that was 4K, that would be like 100 gigabytes. My phone is only like a 256 gigabyte model. That would be like over half the storage on my phone taken up by one video. There is a reason I don't normally record in 4K 60, and that's because I cannot afford the storage space. And another reason I'll acknowledge is just because, personally, I prefer the 1080p 30. Sometimes, to me, 4K quality can feel too crisp, too clean, kind of thing. I think there's definitely scenarios where 4K is really good. Like if you're looking at like a tech review going over the new Arduino board or something like that, and they really want to showcase the details of the solder points on the new Arduino board, then I think probably 4K is a good idea, because that's a really detail-oriented thing. But for a YouTube video where you're just drinking Coca-Cola in a public park, 4K 60 is not necessary at all, kind of thing. It's just a cinematic directorial choice. And it's a cinematic directorial choice that I think is pretty amusing to do, because there's really no reason at all for me to be making this video in 4K 60 right now. There's no reason. I don't normally record videos in 4K 60. I've only ever recorded like 1 or 2 videos in 4K 60 before. I almost never do it. Excuse me. And in my opinion, this is not a video that needs 4K 60. It is not a detail-oriented video where having 4K 60 footage is going to be the ideal for it. This is a video of me sitting down on a bench at a public park consuming Coke. And by that I mean Coca-Cola, nothing else. I don't mean anything else. I'm saying, instead of drinking Coke, consuming Coke, because I thought, and I do still think, that that's a funny thing to do. Makes it sound like I'm doing something else. And I think that's pretty funny. That's what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Man, it really is so smooth, though. And, like, the ideal scenario for, like, 60 FPS for me are, like, fights. Like, anime fights. Like, anime, generally speaking, is, like, filmed in, like, or not filmed in. It's not animated films. Whether it be Japanese animation or American animation, or anywhere animation. Could be French animation for all I know. But normally, animated films are not filmed. It's animated, after all. There's a slip of words there, I'll acknowledge. But, I mean, like, for normal sequences, I mean, like, it can be anywhere between, like, 1 to 18 frames per second kind of thing, depending on whether it's TV or a movie. But for fight sequences, you can go all the way up to, like, 32 frames per second, 30 frames per second, all the way up to 60 frames per second for some, like, really high-end films and stuff like that kind of thing. And it can look fantastic. Like, fight sequences in 60 FPS is insane. Like, 180 FPS? I don't know what kind of crazy animator would do that for a fight sequence, but I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Like, genuinely, that would be kind of insane, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the level of detail you could put in that would be crazy. But this is not an animated fight sequence. This is a video of me sitting down, not really moving all that much, on a bench at a public park drinking Coca-Cola. This video does not need to be in 4K, and this video does not need to be in 60 FPS. And yet it is anyway. There's no point to me doing this, besides the fact, excuse me, besides the fact that I think this is a funny thing to do. And I do think that this is an amusing thing to do, I'll acknowledge. I am gonna grab something out of my backpack real quick. Maybe. Just a little bit of something. Just a little bit of something while I finish off my Coke in a little bit. But man, just looking at the tree behind me though, I'm like, bro, that is detailed. That is detailed. Don't look too closely at my nose hairs. Don't look too closely at my nose hairs, guys. Don't do that. Do not zoom in on my nose hairs, y'all. Don't do that. I forgot to cut my nose hairs before this video. I actually did. I was literally sitting in the car, looking in the mirror, because I was like, man, what's on my face that's making it itchy or something like that? My face was itchy while I was driving here. And then I was looking in the mirror in my car visor, and I was like, oh no, I'm recording a video in 4K 60 today, and I forgot to cut my nose hairs. I was like, what, bro? This is perfectly fine in 1080 30, because you can't see the nose hairs in that. I hope. But in 4K 60, I still hope y'all cannot see my nose hairs. I don't want nobody seeing my nose hairs, but I did forget to cut my nose hairs. So don't look too closely. Don't do that. Just chilling though, honestly. Just enjoying the breeze kind of wisping over me. Enjoying this. And I do need to grab a thumbnail in a minute or two for the video. You know, what's a video about consuming Coke without a thumbnail? You know, maybe something like that, you know? No. I don't think I should do that. Not only would this video be clickbait at that point, which kind of already is slightly clickbait. Well, not really. Technically speaking, this video is not actually clickbait at all. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I was like, this video is partially clickbait, but then I'm like, wait a minute, no. Because what I'm saying is entirely accurate. What I'm saying in the title is entirely accurate. It can either mean I'm consuming Coke in 4K 60, or it means I'm consuming Coke in 4K 60. So there's two options as to how this could go. But if I made it look like the other option that this video is not, then it would be clickbait. So I've got to make sure I have the Coca-Cola in the thumbnail so this video continues to not be clickbait. Maybe I'll put on my sunnies. Hopefully one of those will do. We'll find out. We'll find out. Just chilling though, honestly. Just vibing. I think I'll stand up. Might as well, right? But man, look at how smooth the movement is, y'all. I mean, like, y'all might not realize this, but all my videos are actually made in Blender. I mean, like, look at this. We're trying out 60 FPS animation for the first time. Just joking, just joking. Making a video look this realistic in Blender would be kind of crazy. Like, that would be so sick. Like, if somebody actually made a 4K 60 FPS Blender render of somebody just drinking Coca-Cola in a public park at like 5:30 in the evening or afternoon. Like, that would be hilarious. And there'd be so many layers to it as well. Like, you got to do the background, and you got to make the character actually be able to touch the background, kind of thing. You can't just have it be a background. It's got to be a 3D model itself. Then you got to do a 3D model of the person. You got to do a 3D model of this. You got to do a 3D model of this. You got to get the lighting right, kind of thing. And then there's the wind noise and everything moving with the wind, all the individual particles of grass. And then you have to get the voice acting to sync up with the mouth movements of the 3D model as well. That would be an insane effort for something as simple as making a video of somebody smoking. Not smoking. I'm not doing that right now. That would be pretty insane effort to make a video on somebody just consuming coke in a public park. But that would be hilarious. That would be super funny. Am I gonna learn Blender so I can do that? No, I'm not. I wouldn't mind learning Blender eventually. I think it would be a useful skill to have and a very interesting skill to learn as well. But I don't know if I would do that in Blender. I'd much rather just record a video in real life of me consuming coke at 4K 60 with my iPhone on a tripod, on a table, and a park bench. It's a lot easier to render a video I record in real life than it is to render a Blender render in 4K 60. Render a Blender render. A Blender project? I don't know. I don't know what the right way of putting it would be, honestly. But what I do know is that it's actually getting kind of chilly out here. It's getting a little chilly. It's feeling good. It's probably like low 60s, high 50s right now. But it is getting just the slightest bit chilly out here. It's been pretty warm these last couple days. Or, not like pretty warm, like 90-degree weather, but it's been like high 60s, low 70s kind of thing. And so as such, the quick onset of the cold weather has gotten me just a little bit. Excuse me. I am wearing thermals right now. Like, no joke. I have a thermal top on and I have thermal bottoms on because I was like, the high today is 62. I was like, I should probably wear my thermals. And I know y'all from like New York, Maine, massive two craps, or New Jersey. I know y'all from up north in general. Y'all are probably like, man, 60-degree weather. That's like shorts weather. Not to me. Not to me. That is cold, bruh. but not cold enough to stop me from consuming Coke in a public park in 4K 60 FPS. I think the reason I'm getting kind of cold, though, it might not actually be due to the weather, and it might actually be due to the fact that I'm drinking a cold drink right now. Because my Coca-Cola got at a Dollar Tree probably like an hour ago now, and it is still a bit chilly. It is still a bit chilly. And you know, I'd say that drinking hot drinks in cold weather is a safer option than drinking cold drinks in weather. Because cold drinks might make you feel colder, whereas a hot drink is going to make you feel warmer. But if you feel too warm, you start taking off clothing, which then leads to hypothermia, which then leads to death. But if you drink cold drinks in cold weather, then you get cold, which means you then bundle up more, which means you then sweat, which leads to hypothermia, which leads to death. So I guess like room temperature water would probably be like the optimal thing to drink in cold weather. Or just room temperature or anything, honestly. Excuse me. I guess it also depends on how cold the weather is. Just gonna put that under my water bottle. Don't want to be littering. Got a trash can right over there off camera, so throw that away after the video. And that's what I'm gonna be doing with this can of Coca-Cola as well after the video. Almost done with my Coke. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take another sip or two. Oh no, my phone just said that it's on 20%. Maybe recording in 4K 60 with my phone brightness up all the way does have an impact on my phone's battery. It might, probably does, honestly. I would imagine, just feeling my phone real quick. It does feel warmer than it would if I was recording in 1080 30. Not that much warmer, but I wouldn't be surprised if 4K 60 is a bit heavier on the phone's processor, so yeah, it does make sense why my phone battery might have gone down a little bit faster than otherwise. I was at like 50% when I started the video, so it's like 30% in 20 minutes. And my phone is like 2 years old, so that's probably another, well, no, it's more like 3.5 years old now. So that is probably another factor. And I do have my phone on full brightness as well. So that is probably another factor, but you know, I'm gonna blame it on the 4K 60. That's just another reason why I don't normally use 4K 60 for my videos. Yes, sir. I'm expecting the file size for this video to be, I would have to say, probably 12 and a half gigabytes. That's my personal guess. I'll have to leave a comment saying what the actual file size was. But now that I have finished off my Coca-Cola, I think it's time for me to finish off the video. I said everything I wanted to say, I did everything I wanted to do, and I had a great time while doing so. And I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video today. If you guys have, like, subscribe, check out everything in the description down below. Till the next one. Excuse me. Wow. That was a satisfying burp. But till the next one, y'all. Stay safe in peace and have a great one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?